Hey, welcome. Join us for Last Horizon, Coriolis game in the deep space. And last time, our wonderful crew had a job. And while they escaped the planet Menkar successfully through pirate invasion and a trip through a portal unaided,
Clutch.
they managed to succeed. But upon waking up, they discovered that maybe the job wasn't what they thought, and the doctor, Dolsufi, that they have taken on board, their contact, was not what he was. And before we head back in, to change that, Megan can't be here for the rest of the campaign, and so we will miss her and the AI Zoe. Hopefully, we'll see her again at some point. But before we, let's introduce our cast. Let's see how they're doing and what their character thinks right now with the current situation. We'll start with Cleric.
I'm Kat. I'm a cleric of court. I am playing Dahlia. She, her. Well, we're both she, her. Dahlia is only surfacely handling the information that there have been problems with the job because the ghost of her dead wife showed up as she was coming out of stasis and messed with her a little bit. Did give her a warning though, told her to be careful, so kind of on edge just to find out what that's all about.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like a ghost of the past through one of the terrifying transport portals. So, I mean, it's normal, right? And
she's at
the pilot.
She's at the point to ready. She's ready to risk going through the dark without stasis at this point.
Oh no!
Because she's freaked out about going back into stasis.
Nope.
This is where she's at right now.
That's a bad. Oh no! It is real bad. I will say that. Only the cats come through it alive and safe.
Somehow.
But the one that got the possibility
they are alive, that is.
They own that stasis pod. It's theirs. But the pilot that did get us through, Marco. Hold on. How are you doing?
Oh, all right. I've had 2 weeks to simmer on how much I want to destroy this dude that just made us go on this horrible mission for nothing. I am Colin, at Colonomicon on Twitter and Discord. I'm going to be playing Marco, the pissed off pilot, who, did successfully navigate us through a portal in what was one of the most harrowing experiences of his life. And turns out it was all for nothing. So I am full of rage right now.
I mean, no one messes with Marco, the killer.
Oh no. Yeah, you see what happened to the last guy. You know.
Yes, we know. Dr. RPG, everyone knows. And our resident preacher, Ilya. Hey, Hawkeye, how is it going?
I'm doing quite well as far as I'm concerned, but what has me more concerned is what's going on with this person who's on our ship is now all of a sudden disappeared off of our ship. I want to get to the root of this thing. I don't like hitchhikers of any sort of fashion unless they're ones I take on willingly and all that, but to be taken in such a manner to be made to look like such a fool is not something I'm gonna stand for, because I don't take being made into a fool lightly. I have enough problem with everyone else around here respecting me as captain, let alone people just popping in and off of my ship without being who they actually are.
Kill him with your brain powers.
Trust me, if he gets within range, I just might be tempted.
And our reliable engineer, Bahar. Graybeard, how's it going?
Good. Graybeard at Graybeard's Tavern. And tonight I'll be playing Fahar, who I believe near the end of the last session said, What? So we're not getting paid? And that was about as far as poor Fahar got in his concept of the guy who he thought wasn't a real doctor anyway, was not a doctor, was fudged us over. So Fahar's he's not miffed yet because he doesn't understand.
Yes. Also, you had a little bit of a spooky conversation with him last time.
Go.
Ooh, he cast.
And new to the crew, the possibility as of yet. Spence, we'll talk. How's it going?
I'm good. So for those who have not been introduced, I am Spencer. I am Spence Steel Taco on Twitter. I will be playing Niles, who is a human trailblazer with the Scout sub-concept. So I'm excited to introduce him to y'all and see how he gets on with other members of the crew.
Yes. Hopefully their luck does not rub off on Niles. Because they don't seem to have anything.
Rude.
And before we see how Niles interacts with the crew, how he gets there. Like a little password from Past Charlie.
Past Charlie here to tell you about a few of our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice, providing us access to roles, tokens, maps, and more. You can try it today for free at fantasygrounds.com. While you're there, why not check out Fantasy Grounds Unity? World Anvil is a remarkable resource, whether you're a writer, GM, or player, organizing your campaign notes or building an entire world. Get forging today for free at worldanvil.com. And before we get into today's game, we'd like to shout out our friends at Andrews McMeel Publishing, who published the wonderful game Zweihander. If you haven't checked that out, you can catch it here on Wednesdays. We'd also like to mention Modifius, who manage and produce a wide range of RPGs. Whether you feel like being Dishonored, exploring a tale from the loop, or boldly going with Star Trek adventures, why not check out modifius.com.
Phoenix chat. Thank you, Charlie. Before we get back to the possibility and the discovery that their job and their passenger cannot be accounted for nor seen, we will flash back to the same system, the Humor system, days before. On a hauler, the Mamara, and we focus on Niles, the engineer for the ship, headed for Menkar. What is Niles doing in this moment of quiet?
Would there be a chapel to the judge on board the ship?
Unfortunately, this is the ship that replaced their chapel for more stasis pods, more passenger pods.
Okay.
So whatever you do, it will not have the full effect of reaching them.
Gotcha. In that case, he'd probably been whatever meager quarters he would have on board this ship, just saying a rather deep prayer to the judge that any enemies he would face in the coming days, that justice would be swift for them, and that they would pray to their gods before he sent them to meet him. And for visual, Niles is a man in about his probably mid to late 20s. He has neck-length black hair, kind of a not necessarily well-trimmed, but not unkempt facial hair. He's wearing a kind of tan duster jacket with a black vest underneath it. And the one thing that's probably the most noticeable on his body, you would see a Vulcan carbine strapped to his back, Yeah, but he's just probably kneeled at his bed, deep in prayer, while the ship is moving.
And you take solace in that this is a moment of peace, where the icons can hear you and wish for good luck and safe travels. But then you start smelling the smell of ozone, smoke. As you are jutted out of that vision, feeling that you're used to by now, but you flashback. You are in your engineering station. There are fires everywhere, and you remember the panicked calls of Captain Graya that your ship was being attacked.
Is Captain Graya within, like, essentially within whatever vocal reach of me?
She is not. You are in your
Okay.
engineering bays, separate from the bridge, but communication is. The reactor's been hit. Can you do anything about it? We have breaches all over the decks. If we can keep that reactor going, we can maybe keep the life support systems up in time.
Okay, I'm on it. And I'm just gonna head over to the reactor and try and put out whatever fires need to be put out, whatever things need to be fixed.
As you look on your station, why don't you let's do that. You see that the reactor had been, its main cooling supply has been severed as the last hit took out a good portion of the decks directly below it. So, why don't we have you see how good you are at this?
Yeah.
Make a roll.
Let's see, and this would be... what am I rolling here?
Why don't we just have you... wits. Wits and anything that is remotely systems related. So, maybe data gen.
Okay, I do have...
What you're doing is less mechanical, but more reallocating systems, forcing things, bypassing safeties if need be.
Okay. Let's see. That's only 1/6, so that's a partial success.
That is a success.
Yep.
So you do your magic on the systems, and while you can't save it from going critical, you have bought the ship valuable time, and possibly valuable time for yourself to reach the escape pods.
Okay, Captain, I
How's
can't
it
stop
look?
this thing. I can't stop this thing from going critical, but I bought us some time. We need to get to escape pods now.
All right, get there, and you just hear on the console, "This is the captain. This is an abandoned ship. Get to the escape pods while you can. You won't have long, so leave now."
And with that, I am just making a dead sprint for one of the escape pods.
Yes. As you make your way, you hear the ship shake. You feel it shake. The smell of burning is mixed with this new smell of blood. As you reach out, lights start failing, flicker, and in your mind, you feel just a weight on you, like something is trying to just like get around there, get around your defenses. But you shake off that and you realize what you need to do. So you need to rush from your engineering station to the escape pods, which remain half the length, quarter length of the ship, up to this upper deck through this carnage. So,
Yeah.
we'll see how well you do.
Yeah.
Why don't we make a roll and see how good Niles is at navigating this. And that will be this will be an agility dexterity roll.
Okay. Oh boy, agility dexterity is not super great, but I'll try. I should ask really quick, what do the boons and banes mean for us for this system?
Boons and banes, that means you get 2d6 extra.
Okay. Gotcha. In that case, I want to make sure I do well. I'll use my one advantage thing that I have to get an extra 2d6.
Yes. And if the roll doesn't necessarily go well, you also have a last minute prayer to the icons.
Yeah.
If that doesn't.
That would be another success. It's just 1-6.
All right. You know this ship decently well, how these ships are laid out. So even through the smoke, the unreliable, failing lighting systems, the sounds, you make it to the escape pod deck. And you notice that most of them are not taken. Most of them are actually still here, so maybe you're one of the lucky ones to get to the deck in time. But time is of the essence. What do you do?
Okay. I'm just heading to the closest available one. How many people do these escape pods usually hold? Is it just one person escape pods, or?
This is a small ship, so it's a bunch of single occupant escape pods.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm just gonna get into one of the escape pods, close the doors, do whatever I need to do, and just launch the thing.
Yep, you punch the console, hear the safeties detether, initial shake as the couplings detach, and the initial rush of momentum as the engines on this thing, the remaining thrusters, blast off from it. And you can see through the exterior cameras on this thing, the ship, the more badly damaged, huge chunks of it, the side of the ship that you ran through is one of the few that has not been utterly just ripped to pieces. And what you see, you expect a ship or something along that, but what you see is just shapes of black trailing what looks to be, if this was an atmosphere, it would look like smoke, but you don't know what's going, and just this sickening orange yellow lighting coming from it. These shapes that just look like misshapen stars just shoot these almost haphazard looking beams from it, also latching onto it and ripping it to pieces. And as you go, you can still feel that pressing in your mind as it's being pushed by something else away from you. And as you get further and further away, that feeling recedes. As you hope that the destruction of this ship will be enough of a distraction that whatever these things are, don't decide to look for you. And that's where we'll leave now, is for the moment. And we go back a day or two later on the deck of the Possibility, as you've just received a message that the good Dr. Dulsophie was not or that they were even alive. And now they're unaccounted for on your ship.
Dahlia's going hunting.
Eliab is gonna go. Go ahead.
I'll say it's a small
she's-
ship, so they're going someplace. Shouldn't be hard to find.
Eliab's gonna go to the storage place where we put the box that we rescued from that storage place museum thing, and I want to see if that box is actually still here, i.e., is this just a red herring, or was there actually any value to what he left behind?
Marco's gonna go room by room. Marco's freaked out by the idea that there's someone on the ship that's not accounted for. So, pistol drawn, just gonna very nervously go, open doors and check room by room for this dude.
Fahar will lock himself in the engine room.
And hope he's not in the engine room.
Yeah, exactly. But he thinks if he could keep them out of the engine room, at least the ship will keep running.
All right, we'll go with Dahlia first. You initially find nothing. Let's see how all your skills at finding someone on this ship are. So that will be let's just double check.
Am I infiltrating my ship, or is this survival?
I think it probably has something to do with infiltrating. You're
Okay.
It's got like counter infiltrating, so that's what we'll do it.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we get here. That is a success, a single 6.
You give the Possibility. I count that you are kind of going around the ship as if to like corral someone if they were like cut off any possibility of them doubling back on
Yes.
the ship, right?
Yep. Yeah. When she was with the mercs, she's hunted people before.
Mm-hmm.
She knows, so that's what she's doing.
And you don't find someone. You find, which is odd considering that it's a man, and that the way you went around this ship, you for sure would have found it. But what you find is the doctor's data pad. Oh.
But no sign of him, no sign of his clothes.
No sign of him. Nothing.
Can I access this data pad?
Yes, it has been left unlocked.
I'm going to approach this very, very carefully
Mm-hmm.
as I turn, try to see what's on here.
Okay. It has. What you're able to get through are the correspondence. Like, there's the usual amount of stuff on it, but what the real information is that the doctor, days before, from what you can gather as far as like the timing, it's a couple days before, around the time when a little bit before you had gotten the job. Sorry, my brain's a little crazy, a little wild,
okay.
so it's a little after. So this
Okay.
seems like a check-in, and it's just confirmation, contact with your patron about the job, as well as contacts with Hyperion Logistics about sending a team. We found the ship. It's on its way. Send who you need to retrieve it. And that was marked 3 days ago, and there hasn't been anything since then.
We found the ship. Send who you need to retrieve it.
Is
that correct? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And from previous jobs that Hyperion Logistics has been curious about your ship. It's been able to get places, perform jobs that a ship that of your size shouldn't have, and so they've been giving your ship special attention. So this is not auspicious news.
Captain?
Yes, Dolly.
He's not on this ship. I don't know how he got off, but he's not on this ship. I do have his data pad, though, and we need to have a ship meeting.
We'll meet on the bridge shortly.
So, Ilab, you check the storage thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Checking on the material. It's the same as you left it. Nothing's been
Still
touched.
there. Yeah.
Yep. Still the same place, still the same condition as it was left. It looks like it hasn't been touched since then.
Probably just a bunch of flea market junk that he picked up and put in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll try to contact Zoe. Hey, Zed, not Trey. Have you got any tracer at all on our passenger that joined with us?
Can't. You just hear like cannot. Like, this is unusual. Like, there's like static, there's jitteriness, and after a few, cannot find this doctor anywhere on the ship. Cannot. It's like as to say they van, and then nothing.
This is not good at all, and I sprint right up to the bridge.
All right, bridge is still as you all have left it. Is this where you want to have the? We'll just fast forward a little bit to everyone on deck. Even if you have the cats are there, they followed you.
I'd like to check the controls to make sure that we went to the right place. Like this person didn't
Good idea.
change our destination or something on us.
Nope, you're the place that you've logged, and your jump was precise. You're in the Himura system, as expected, and on the right date. So you didn't just like lose time.
Okay.
Everything, other than the fact you are missing a passenger, and maybe your AI has had some problems. Everything is as expected from a successful jump.
I couldn't find the
So-
guy anywhere. I went through every cabin. Anybody ask Zoe if Zoe's seen anything?
I tried to ask Zoe, and Zoe's acting like she's got some sort of bug in her or something. Not communicating straight and having trouble connecting and all that. I think we need to check Zoe out right away. I want to make sure that our good old Zed Trey is actually on and active here.
Oh man.
Something's wrong with
Okay. I'll
Let's
start a
make sure
diagnostic.
that let's make sure that our disappearing passenger didn't take a hostage with him.
He's
Oh,
nowhere.
no.
He's not here. There's no body. The only thing that I can find, I have gone through this ship. He's not on it. No body. Nothing left behind except this. And she sets the data pad down and opens it up to the correspondence. It would seem that Hyperion Logistics has taken a rather acute interest in us lately. And this was a setup.
What the hell did we do to them?
We exist and we work for their competition. There's no other thing that we need to do.
We work for ourselves.
Well, and we do have some advanced technology. And Bahar just gets a big grin.
Let's make sure that technology is still with us. If you know
Has
what I
anyone
mean.
anyone checked on Zoe's body?
Oh,
Her room was still secured when I was doing the search.
Could be
okay.
worth a lot of money to the right bidder.
Exactly.
It's been resecured.
Is anyone on this ship superstitious or knowledgeable of, let's just say, ghost stories on ships?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Marco's
All right,
definitely got advanced knowledge of ghost stories.
Whoever wants to can make a culture roll.
I haven't rolled yet.
forget.
Sure.
Can we assist? I can't remember.
Empathy culture. You know, if you want to kind of have a little bit of brain trust with Marco, that's fine. You can kind of like brainstorm.
Okay.
You might be
Right
on the
now I
same
have-
wavelength about what.
Right now I
guys are
have
feeling.
4d6 for that. But if there's, do I get any assistance from Bahar?
I don't have anything in culture, but I got 5 in empathy. If that helps.
I mean, you're a.
Oh, I'm also not trained in culture, so I can't.
I mean,
do
you
it
can
at all.
still. I mean, you don't have to be trained. Just like a empathy.
Okay, it's the same anyway. It's 4d6.
Yeah.
either way.
So I mean, you like, must being on these ships, you must have heard like talk of
Yeah.
strange things.
Oh yeah, I'm sure in my studies at the seminary that we covered
Oh
all
wow.
the stuff under things. So how'd you
I
do?
rolled only 4d6 and I got 3 6s.
Hey,
So
All right. Why don't you roll as well, just to see if everything
all
else.
right. Let me see if we can add anything else to this. And in my usual humble fashion, I roll all 5 dice and not a single. Oh, there is 1 6 there. I'll take that back.
well,
I
hot
say there
dog.
is a 6 there.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. But Marco and Fahar, you maybe discuss it a little bit, but things like this have been, whispered, ghost stories and whatnot, but you recall pure legend amongst the far traders, people that travel the furthest reaches of the horizons. Before the horizon was the last one, for there were 3 of Hazared, the preacher. And how he would charm his way onto ships, get their trust, and what unfortunate, well-meaning vessel, normally blessed with, for their charity, the will of the icons, but unfortunately not this time, because ships that Hazard, the preacher, visits encounter madness, visions, lost time, and hallucinations before turning on each other, leaving, at best, a single last mad survivor. And no log, nor evidence, nor body of Hazard was found on any of these ships. But they swear to the icons that there was a man there. And Iliab, you know that this story, ghost stories, are why, beyond the fact that there are portals and prayer to the traveler ensure the best option of safe travel, having a chapel or strong faith keeps darkness away. Darkness that exists in the far reaches of space. Darkness that lives between the stars. And that faith, strong faith, can sometimes dissuade them. Turn a blind eye.
Fahar, you remember that story I told you that my grandfather told me about the preacher that would sneak onto ships?
Yeah, kind of like a cuckoo bird from that one planet. You get on board and then take over, and everybody's gone. Young.
Yeah, just like that. Except I think this one was real. Okay, I don't want to freak anyone out, but has anyone considered that maybe Hurak was a ghost?
There's always that realm of possibility of supernatural beings making appearances in such a fashion, but
Okay,
really
I didn't think anyone would hear me out on that.
Yes,
wouldn't
and
make any. But why? But why would they go? Why would it go after us? Just a random thing, or what would it have?
Why?
Sounds like it needed a ride.
And why does it use a data pad?
It wasn't you. Probably just picked it up so he could use that as part of it, trying to make us think that he was the person that we were carrying.
Or maybe he ate that guy and became him.
I don't know if that's part of the story, Far.
I don't know. From
know.
what we learned back in school, that was never described. But
Okay.
just keep your wits about you and keep your faith up. That's going to go a long ways towards keeping it from having any negative effects on you. We did learn that back in school.
yeah, and the current events that happened in the recent, with like the last couple years, make beings like that more concrete. The emissaries that appeared on Kua, the two that currently reside on Coriolis, are reported to be spectral beings without physical form. Beings that claim to be one of the icons, specifically the judge.
We could always do a seance.
You want to talk to it?
Let's do
Maybe
this
other
first.
ghosts
We
on
need
board.
to. We do
That's actually a
need to
good
go
point.
check out Zoe's quarters, so to speak. Make sure if anything's happened. Last
Yeah.
thing we have to do is try to not have Zed Op Trey with us on this thing. Too valuable member of the crew. Even if they are electronic member, they're still a member.
So I imagine when Dahlia did her go search the ship looking for this guy, that she did go into Zoe's quarters and would have verified that her
Yes.
body was there, that the room was secured, that he wasn't
Okay.
in there, and then she would have secured it behind her. So Dahlia would
Okay.
at least tell you the body is there. It did not appear to be disturbed, and her room was secured, and I resecured it. Whether or not there was any minute tampering, or what, I did not look for that. I was looking for a body. Which is not
Understood.
here.
All right.
We're after our AI. Just something that wants to mess with us because we were nice to it and repaid because we gave it a ride? What kind of being does that?
Not all supernatural beings are nice.
I know that for sure.
Ghosts floating around. All right, I'm gonna head down to the chapel. I want to see if it did anything. Did you notice any? Did you go in? I presume you went in the chapel, Dahlia,
I was in
during your
every.
search.
I went everywhere.
Right.
She opened
I
every
presume that.
panel, every compartment, everything.
Did you notice anything strange or different in the chapel?
I must. GM, did I notice anything? Was there anything that was disturbed or out of the ordinary anywhere on the ship that I would have noticed?
No. Nothing has been settled. Nothing has been disturbed.
Everything is as it should be, Captain.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Trying to think of any way we'd see any sign or way to make recontact. Of course, now if it's left from us, where did it go? Because if it needed a ship to get off the planet, let's say, it's not just going to leave our ship and float around in space now. If it could do that, it would have already done that and not required our ship.
Unless it needed to go into the dark.
That's a possibility.
So it's still on here somewhere, possibly?
Or it went into the dark.
It was hiding there. And at that, I'll need to go check on something real quick, and I'm going to sprint down to my quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go inside, close the door behind me, and my icon to the faceless one, I want to open it up to see if the relic that I keep hidden inside there is still there.
It's still there.
Okay. It wasn't anything to do with that, but
scrawled, carved into the vessel that you hide this thing. You keep it in, so it's I know. In small letters in front of it.
all right, you little specter, you mind making yourself known right now so we can figure out what the blue blazes is going on? Because dadgummit, I'm not going to have you mess with my crew.
No response.
All right, I try to cover up the message it left for me as best I can. Then I head back upstairs.
And as soon as Elab left the bridge, Fahar looked over at Marco and it's like, the traveler just told me he's not on board. We're okay.
Well, good news. All of that talking to the ceiling that you already do is going to be really useful now.
Does Fahar have any particular, object that ties him to the icons?
Oh no, he was just born in space, and he thinks that they talk to him, and
okay.
they speak directly to him. He doesn't need priests and all that.
Oh,
or chapels.
line.
He just talks to the gods. But he knows that Iliab doesn't like that, so he never says it or tries to never say it around him. I did try to run a diagnostic to see if I could figure out what was going on with Zoe. Is that a possibility, or does it just come back?
Yes. Why don't you make your engineering roll to see what is ailing your ship AI?
Yeah. Back in there. That is 2 6s.
Nice. It is a definite success. So what you get from you pour over the current log from just system reports and ones that have kind of within the journey, and the results that you are getting is that Zoe's condition is not mechanical in nature. It's as if the system is fading. And you, through the history of the reports in the last few days, small results of this were taking place slowly over time since about the time that you landed on Menkar. And since then, just escalated to the current point where Zoe is no longer responsive. The core is fine. It's as if maybe some of the coding is bad.
So while Fahar is running this diagnostic, Marco is hanging over Fahar's shoulder, looking at the screen with you, very anxiously wanting to know what's wrong with Zoe.
And one more thing, you know that this started before you even met the doctor. So
as he's parsing through all of this, he just starts to kind of, a little bit of, and he gets more and more upset, and then just kind of puts his head down. He's like, Zoe's dying.
She's what?
She's dying. It's not mechanical. I can't fix her.
She's an AI. She can't die. What do you mean she's dying?
She's coming apart. It's not mechanical. It's in the code.
But maybe we can fix it. We can put our heads together and figure out. I mean, I don't have the expertise to make an AI, but maybe we can fix one. Maybe we can work together and get Zoe back.
Sometimes things are just broke.
Far, she's not. They're not. No, Zoe's fine. Here, let let me take a look. Maybe I can figure out what. Maybe I can figure out what the coding error is. Maybe it's just that simple. Just replace a 1 with a 0 somewhere, and then boom, she's back.
Okay. And he slides back from the engineering console. He's like wiping his face.
All right. What are you doing, Marco?
I have a level in data gen. Would like to try to identify like what it was. You said it's like been snowballing. So
Yes, it's been after initial point of discrepancy. It's been getting worse and worse.
So I'm trying to identify the first point of failure, like what first went wrong, and then try to maybe correct that coding error and undo the damage.
Okay. Give it a try. We'll see.
All right. I'm not that good at this. But
Far, do you want to give assistance on that as well?
Yeah, and how does that work again? Do I roll, or does he get extra dice, or?
give me an extra die.
Yeah, extra die.
Okay.
Okay. So that is 5d6. Got 1 6.
You guys do have crits.
Do you have your crit?
Oh yeah. I only got 1 6. I'd have to get 2. Yeah, I'm not going to spend it right now. I'm going to bank that.
All right, you try your best to kind of gauge what the problem is by looking at the first instances. It appears that it came in through the sensors were the first thing to basically start failing, followed by systems. And it is probably very fortunate that that Zoe was able to bring the chassis back to the ship, because at the rate it was going, maybe couldn't. And you try to do your best to diagnose and fix some of the initial. You're able to bring back a few of the systems. The ship, for all intents and purposes, will run without Zoe's operations. But you get the sense that if this was biological, it has the feeling of sickness to it.
I've never seen anything like it. It's like Zoe had a disease. I don't think there's anything I can. Damn it. And Marco's gonna walk over and flop down on his cot and look up at the ceiling and say, Zoe, I'm sleeping on the bridge again. Is there something you'd like to say? Zoe?
Just hear the ambient sounds of the bridge, but nothing else.
Damn it.
And then you hear a ping.
Now what?
Ping. You wait for Zoe to bring it up, but you have to actually go through the effort of bringing up the screens. And you see a faint distress signal. Upon further viewing, looks the remains of a ship, the escape pod.
Escape pod.
At this point, would Eliab finally be making his way back to the bridge?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What do you got on the screen there, Marco?
Looks like a distress signal, Captain. Some kind of escape pod. I think we learned our lesson about hitchhikers, but your order. What do you want us to do?
All right. Before I say anything, it's a dumb and stupid question, but Dally, you made sure that all of our escape pods were still here, right?
We don't have
yeah.
any escape pods.
Oh, okay. Well, that answers that question. All right.
We fly rough.
It's a good thing
Oh.
you all work this ship pretty well.
Mhm. All right.
Also,
then.
yes.
Can these sensors tell us what might be in there or what kind of ship this was from? Or are these things fairly generic?
Someone make a sensors roll for that. Now that we are without Zoe. That's
Bahar had
data
walked
gen.
off the bridge, so
I can
I
do
mean,
it.
there's comms. Comms still work perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All the systems work. It's just it's not as
I can do a data
automated
gen.
and doesn't run as smoothly. Okay.
That is 2 6s.
Excellent. Cool. All right. You get the readings from. It is indeed an escape pod and not just a signal to lure ships. It is single occupant. It is projecting that there is indeed life signs on it. Probably single person. It's from the Mamara. A bulk hauler.
And for
Headed
absolute
to-
clarity, not the
Mhm.
ship that we blew up, right?
No, absolutely not. That ship
Okay.
is gone forever.
Okay.
It is a coffin. You did not know. You did not destroy the ship. No. Yeah, and what's odd is it was also heading for Menkar.
It was heading for Menkar.
Mm-hmm.
Captain, we got a single occupancy emergency escape pod. Looks like there's somebody alive in there. But the weird thing is, it was heading for Menkar. That was its last known course.
And you get the reading that whatever happened like 2 days ago.
They've been floating out there for a while. Probably could use a pickup. I'm pretty low on generosity right now, but I'm not a monster. I think we should pick this up.
I'll go fire up the med lab.
Good idea, Dolly.
Get med lab ready. Let's try to tractor beam this thing into us and all that, and see who it is. If it turns out they're not of a good lot, we can always lock them up somewhere.
Well, I've got life signs, so good news. It's not a ghost.
Unless
Just
it's
before
being
Dahlia leaves
possessed
the-
by one.
Just before Dahlia leaves the bridge, she's going to walk over to where Marco's sitting, just put a hand on his shoulder, very quietly say, "Be careful." And then she's going to go down to the med lab.
Not
She's
knowing
basically
quite what make
echoing
of
what
that.
Nad just said. She's
Oh, I
echoing
remember.
what Nad just said to her.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember. I caught that.
Mhm.
But obviously Marco didn't see that, so not knowing what to make of it. Oh, all right. See you in a bit.
Ship-wise, we don't have a salvage arm or a tractor beam, so you're going to actually have to maneuver our ship to dock with the pod.
To knock with it? Okay.
Or-
I wasn't
Or
sure.
Fahar will have to get in a suit and go out and pull the pod into the airlock.
Exosuits.
Yes.
We had
Okay.
exosuits.
All right, let's rescue this poor fool, whoever it may be.
I'll bring it around, Captain.
All right. So, I mean, this is y'all are competent, so I'm not gonna have to make you roll, but you do. It is a joint effort between Marco, kind of using the maneuvering thrusters, and Fahar on the exterior, kind of in the exosuit, just kind of guiding this smaller than a car sized, like object. So it's not the most. You can probably do this yourself, but you just you maneuver it to the airlock, and it's one of those things where you can just attach it to the docking clamps.
I'm gonna call Fahar and just ask him if it's wheeled in.
And
you got it?
So when you guys actually had to go and find Fahar, who was in Zoe's quarters, had the AI core all torn apart, and he was just kind of hands in his head, or head in his hands, and you kind of pretty much had to get him to his feet.
Yeah. While you were doing that, a couple of the cats were just kind of nestled up against you.
Okay. Yeah.
It's maybe more cats than you've seen in one place. So it's just 2 of them.
Okay. That's awesome. Great detail. Okay, yeah, and so you pretty much had to pull him to his feet, and then he shakes it off, and business. We're saving somebody. Okay, got to do this. And so he exosuits up and gets out there and does what he has to do to get the job done.
All right, I'm in position. You got it in here, buddy?
We're good. Locking it down now.
All right, all clear. I'll be down there in a minute. Let's take a look at this thing.
I'll meet you down there.
All right, as the crew of the Possibly gets ready.
Gun drawn.
Oh my God.
Gun's not drawn, but it's in its holster and ready to be pulled out if needed.
I ain't trusting anybody right now.
Not needed it.
Dahlia brought down the a stretcher type thing from the med lab if needed. But yeah, she doesn't have her weapon drawn, but the rifle's in hand, ready to go if needed.
I got it I had the pistol behind
Niles.
my back.
Fahar's the one opening the pod, so it's zzz, 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 with some kind of ratchet multi-tool thing or something. Sonic screwdriver.
Reverse the polarity.
So
no, all you gotta do is just confuse the polarity a little bit. That's all you need.
Niles, the fortunate thing about the escape pods is they are basically function as stasis pods for the most part to allow the chance to be picked up given the distance of space and some lead time on that. Also so that you just don't go mad from days and days. So it hasn't been as long as it would feel to be the last 2 or 3 days in the void. But as the Possibility makes connection with the pod, the stasis module powers down and you reawaken. And how do you feel?
Pretty traumatized and scared at the moment. And so, do I hear Fahar opening up the escape pod?
You hear the you can kind of hear it the docking and the sounds of another ship on the other side of this.
I'll kind of slowly get up, and the moment that Fahar would open up the door, there's a gun in his face.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, cowboy. Okay.
You look at him, and while the aim of the gun is confident, while this person's an adult, he has a face that looks like he's seen hell in the past couple days. So he looks scared. And it's just
there's the
who the hell
muzzle
are
of a
you?
carbine. There's a muzzle of a carbine now pressing against your temple. Put the gun down.
I would suggest lowering your weapons, young man, unless you want to go quickly from a rescuee to a corpse.
I second that motion. You're going to want to drop that, partner.
you see that it's kind of like, strapped around his shoulder, and he just lets it drop, and he slowly puts both of his hands up.
That's
Dahlia's
a lot
going-
better.
Dahlia's going to remove the barrel from your temple, and then reach down and undo the strap and remove the weapon, and then step back. Are you injured?
I don't think so.
You have a
Can you
name?
walk?
He kind of looks over to Marco. The name's Niles. I was on the...
Niles.
I have to look at the ship name because it was confusing me. Hold on. The Mamara.
Oh,
I
you're
believe
muted,
it was
Sean.
called.
Mamara. Oh, Mamara, yeah.
Come on.
I was on the Mamara a couple days ago. We were attacked by something. I don't know what. I'm sorry. I pointed a gun at you, and he kind of slowly points over to Fahar.
We're cool.
I
all
was
good.
scared. I didn't know what I was going to find.
You're all right now,
Oh,
Niles.
That's all understandable now. What's your condition? Can you walk, or do we need to carry you out of that cigar box?
I can walk. I just need some place to sit down for a bit.
All right, let's get this guy to the med labs. Let's make sure he's all right.
Marco, do you have this?
Yeah, I can take him. No problem.
And Dahlia is going to hang on to your gun, Niles, but
Mhm.
she will then head to the galley and put together something simple to eat.
Marco's gonna make like he's putting the pistol away, but still put it behind his back. And be like, all right, come right this way, Niles. Let me, I'll show you. Well, just a quick checkup. Won't take long at all.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. First one you've had in a while. I don't know how long you were floating out there. It's been according to your log, it's been a couple of days.
It's probably been close to that, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Hey, come on in, and I'll lead him to the med lab.
I'll walk along behind.
I do want to give him if we have any way of diagnosing, I want to see if anything weird is going on with this guy, like any odd effects.
Of course.
Does he have a pulse? Is he not a
Does he have a
ghost?
pulse?
Like,
You have to tell me if you're a
get that
ghost.
gun ready. Get that gun. Get those guns ready for any weirdness. Yeah. Good.
Okay, first of all, we ask everyone this question now: are you a ghost? It's very
Are
important.
you a
just
ghost?
have to-
Yes.
Prove to us you have a
Ghost?
pulse. We'll go.
Okay.
you have to tell me
Yep.
if you're a ghost or else it's entrapment.
So if
Yeah.
we want to
All
check.
of our guns have the undead setting on them just in case now.
I mean, you have more guns now, so you got more guns than people.
What should I roll to check this guy out, if anything?
Okay. That should. All right. You're gonna be rolling wits and metallurgy if you have that.
I am not
Special
trained in
skill.
metallurgy.
Okay. So yep. Just a wits.
You do know that Fahar is.
But better at this than me?
Yeah, I've got a
what's
2
up
in
Fahar doing?
metallurgy.
Yeah, I failed
Yeah.
bad, so.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Yep, he's a ghost.
Actually, yeah, he's a ghost.
Kill it.
Actually, I gotta
Well,
hold on. My
It's-
friend that
it's-
you almost shot in the face is better at this than me. Maybe I can go ask him.
You just got the last reading on that thing, which is basically one of the cats. So it's that's cats.
Your pulse is 140.
It occurs to Marco suddenly he has no idea what he's doing.
While we wait for Marco to come for Har, where do you call home, young man?
I was on Zalos for most of my life. decided that the judge had better things going for me, so I essentially went on the Mamara looking for, I don't know, spiritual guidance, answers to questions that I didn't know the answer to, but you can see where that's gotten me.
And Marco's just typing on a console, kind of like mumbles to himself, like, "Oh, brother, you came to the right place. I tell you what." Oh.
Well, we can might be even able to help you on that department here. So, but
Over
let's
Elliot's shoulder, like,
but until then, let's make sure you're all right here first.
Okay. And you'll just notice that, like, while he's being compliant, he has, like, just a 1,000-yard stare kind of going on. And he's responding. He's just not very enthusiastic.
Now, I will warn you this thing. The last passenger we had on this fine ship didn't exactly go over and behave so well, it turns out. So if everyone acts a little iffy around you, you can understand why.
He just nods his head.
"Hey, Fahar, can you come down here and check this guy out? I have no idea what I'm doing with this thing. I don't know. Help me out. My screen's gone all blue."
Be right there.
"Thanks, man."
Fahar gets there, he'll start the exam, and again, he's in that work mode, like he's not really thinking, and he's just kind of going through it. And then, are you just kind of letting him move your arms and attach things and stuff, Spence, or are you asking questions?
Yeah, he's letting you. He's just, if you ask questions, he'll respond to them, but he doesn't ask any of you.
All right. Yeah, he just basically goes through the simple kind of things and just makes sure that, yeah, he's human and he's in decent health. You know, if he needs a meal
Is
or
he
hydration.
Human? Yes, he is human.
Okay.
That's
So,
not a given.
Human, he is human.
Okay. All right. That was kind of the question. So, all right. And Fahar, I'll just say, he's clear.
I mean,
probably use a water pack.
I mean, yeah, beyond exhaustion, some stasis, like recovery, and probably Nick's bruises and some just like smoke inhalation. Human, decent health.
Dahlia will come
Gotta
in.
stop smoking
with,
so much.
Dahlia will come in with. I mean, it's real simple fare. It's what you get on the board ship, especially a hauler, and just set it in front of you, and you'll notice that she has the same 1,000-yard stare that you do. There's just kind of that hard blankness behind her eyes. It's a very kind of flat look. As she hands it to you, so I'd have done the same thing. No hard feelings. And she will hand you your gun back, but it has no clip in it, no battery, so it can't be fired.
And he'll just sort of start eating the food, and like, it's one of those situations where like most people are probably starving. He takes a couple bites and is like, and then he just sort of like swiftly eats all of it down.
Yeah.
And drinks from the water pack. So, if you don't mind my asking, what ship am I on right now?
Well, you'll
The
get
Possibility.
you are on the Possibility.
Okay.
I'm hoping you haven't heard of it before.
Now, GM, I have, right? From what we talked about earlier.
Oh, well, how good is your poker face?
He's basically too traumatized to act like he recognizes the name. It's just like, all right, what brings you to this part of space?
Look to everyone else.
like
Yeah.
everybody else out here.
I feel like there's like a simultaneous work.
That's kind of where I was going to before, my ship basically blew up.
Ships don't basically blow up unless there's something really, really wrong.
What was it? Pirates?
Yeah. He kind of looks around. Does anybody have? Do you have like this is primitive, but like pen and paper or something I can draw on?
Yeah, you probably have.
Yeah, a data pad with a stencil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he'll sort of like, he takes a bit to sketch it out, and he sort of holds it up, and from what I've seen before, it's just, you just see what looks like an entangled, like, just black mass with these orange and red rays of light shooting out of it. Whatever it was that attacked the Mamara, that was it.
I'm gonna lean over to Fahar. Like, did you do a full psychological exam on this guy too?
Those brainwaves are good. I mean, that doesn't mean that he's not. Yeah. But
yeah, that's a good point.
Now, do I
he leans
recognize what this shape would look like? That he's just strong?
Repeat that, sorry.
Do I recognize anything about what he just drew?
Why don't you make culture roll?
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
and Marco,
Hey,
Fahar
I'm on a
leans
roll
in.
here. 2 6s this time.
Woo!
Yeah.
Fahar leaned in to you at some point, Marco, and says, "It's okay. The judge says he's cool."
As long as the judge thinks so, that's good.
So 2 6s.
And if you
Alright.
would look him over, Marco, you would see an icon to the judge hanging off of his, basically like a necklace.
Huh. I'll come back to that, but
It's difficult. It's in the best of times. It is difficult to kind of glean any sort of sketched out drawings, even of the best things at certain points. But
Mhm.
there are legends in the church of those same things that are spoken of, something called a Bah-jin. These are creatures of that come from darkness beyond the stars. Things of chaos, death, shaped, taken form, and they are things whispered by experienced sailors of the worst thing that you could run across. They bring madness and death, as well as ill omens of things to come. And they say these were things that your forebears, the first come, the original inhabitants of the Third Horizon,
Mhm.
weaponized and used against the other two. Highly, highly heretical, deeply, deeply awful things.
Heretical even to me, though.
Yes. If you're a follower of you being the follower of even the icons, yes, unspeakable things.
Yeah, you're lucky you survived that, to be totally honest, sir.
Whoa, you
And
mean
I'm
those
not
are
gonna
real?
I don't feel lucky.
What the hell is it? It's like a squiggly cloud. What are you talking about?
It dates back a long time ago. Back when the first come we're battling against everybody else, they were able to take some literal embodiments of evil and able to weaponize it, if you can imagine that.
Wait. What are you saying? What is it?
What's the name again? I want to make sure I say it correctly.
Bah-jin. At least I put in the
It looks like they ran up against a Bah-jin. You heard of them?
Oh, no. You said it was sailor tradition, so Mark was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Nice meeting you, Niles. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go get some fresh air. Okay. Hey, good luck. Take care. Enjoy the goop that Dahlia. Okay, bye. And he's like peacing out of here to go to the Arboretum.
Any of you that have been in space long have probably heard something about them, but specifics, tales more or less vary between teller and teller. Like there's a lot of spin putting on them. Like people like add their own aspects to it, but it's just that still same kind of terror associated with it.
So it was 2 days ago. I'd suggest we put as much distance between this place, between where we are right now, and where that thing probably was. I'd say we're probably going to be expected to check back in with Aldair Jabal anyway.
Yeah, boss, Captain, we do need to talk with the boss about what happened.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that's going to be to go down on the planet.
Yeah.
Fahar,
So,
with that previous role of diagnose, that 2 days sparked something in you, that the readings that you took of Zoe's condition happened, the first instances started around that time.
Ooh. Yeah, he probably starts tearing up again and just kind of like, you're okay? If you need more medical, call me. And then he just kind of scattles out of there.
And at that point, I'll kind of turn to Iliab and it's just like, is there a chapel on this ship? There's something I probably need to take care of.
certainly, I can lead you right there. When you're at your convenience.
I mean, I can go there now. Do you mind if I grab my bag out of the pod real quick? It just has basic necessities in it.
Certainly.
Captain, while you do that, I'll go set up spare quarters for him.
Thank you, Dahlia. I'm going to follow him all the way to the pod to make sure he doesn't pull something out of the bag.
And then Dahlia's going to head up.
I'm
to
believing his
Arboretum
story,
as well.
but I'm not fully trusting of him yet. Sorry about that.
And, he'll get what's essentially the equivalent of like a small duffel bag from the escape pod. And he kind of unzips and is digging around in it for a bit. And you see him pull out something that looks a little bit almost like savage. And he just has a stone cold grip on it. You see what appears to be almost like a 3-headed whip. Do you have a designation as a what it looks like a priest?
I am a preacher, yes.
From where I come from on Zalos, there's an incarnation of the judge known as the martyr.
I'm familiar with it.
Do you know of some of their rituals for repentance of sins, sir?
I remembered studying some of them, but I'm probably not as familiar with them as I am with some others.
According to the martyr's teachings, it's normally practiced by the order, but I feel like I should practice it myself as well. Those who cannot find justice usually find flagellation as a way of repaying. If you can lead me to the chapel, I can take care of this myself.
If that's what you wish to do, I can take you there.
Thank you.
And I lead him to our chapel.
And, he kind of, slips off the duster jacket and slowly takes off the vest. And we'll just sort of, fade to black as Iliab, you'll probably hear the beginning of whipping sounds hitting flesh.
And Eliab makes a note to himself to check the chapel later on in case he's got to do some cleanup.
Before we fade to black, you get a feeling, Niles, almost quizzical. You're on your way, and we will be whole and free.
Have I ever heard this voice before, ever?
No.
And it's a
You've
little
had
bit
feelings,
after that. Yeah.
but this is the first.
Oh. And he'll just kind of sit there and, let the blood run down his back for a bit.
All right.
And eventually, clean himself up a bit and sort of just start exploring the ship, seeing what all it has to offer.
Okay. It's a ship of its class. The Scarabs. I have a question for our crew. Did you secure Zoe's, not the room, but the core?
Bahar ripped it apart.
Did you re-secure it for her?
I mean, it's in its own room, so if you...
Yeah, that's what I mean. I would have locked the room when you pulled me out to go get in the exosuit. But yeah, and the core would be in place, probably back in place. It's just like I said, the outer panels would probably all be off of it, and Fahar would have ignored the Zoe body.
That's
altogether.
Yeah, so
yeah.
So any place you want to go in this ship, Niles? Maybe just giving a wander around.
I'm just
Like
gonna
a casual.
I'll head to the bridge and sort of just watch out of whatever, view screen. Just watch space go by.
You just see. You've seen this a few times, but like it's you've been on enough ships that there are cats, and a single cat is usually not something too remarkable. But you've seen a cat a bunch of times. You could swear that this cat is several cats. But one is just wanders onto the bridge as cats do, like they own the space. But then stops. Looks at you straight in the eyes. Hisses. Rankles up on its back, tail up, and just scatters off. As yeah.
I mean, the cats don't like Dahlia, but they don't do that.
Making a great first impression.
Oh, totally.
Lucky for you, none of us were there to see.
I was just gonna say nobody saw that though, so that's awesome. Oh my god, what a great scene!
And you, if you're gonna just kind of just sit on the bridge, you get a sick feeling in your stomach. Tread. As we shift over to Dahlia. What is Dahlia doing?
After everything that happened in the med lab, and the talk of the Bah-jin, she's going to go up to the Arboretum because that's where she goes. And she's got all of the she stops to collect all of the weapons from the weapons locker because she knows that fairly soon they're going to be heading down to Coriolis, and they need to sell these things. So for her, it's calming, zen-like to she's going to field strip the weapons, clean them, make sure they're in the best repair that they can be prior to selling them, plus her own weapons.
Yeah. For travel reference, y'all are roughly about halfway there. That last jump kind of bumped you in, so it's going to be a few days, but it's going to be a quick few days, hopefully.
Yeah, so she's got the time, and she's, again, pretty unsettled about everything that's happened. It's been, half a day since they came out of stasis themselves, a day. So she's still dealing with all of that, and then with the news about Zoe, who... part of her... It's odd. Zoe was the person that she was, I guess, closest to in terms of the person who knew most about her, and knew her secret. And with Zoe inactive the way she is, degrading the way she is, there's nobody else that has that information, and there's no way to retrieve that information as far as she knows. She actually feels a little safer, and so she's feeling conflicted about that. There's the sense of loss of this person the one person in the world who knew who she truly was. She's lost that person, but that also makes her safer.
Yes. The ship's definitely, for those of you who are more keyed into like how the ship, it feels different, feels colder than it did before.
Yeah. So there's all of that, and then I think it's once she kind of hits into that zen state, as she feels stripping the weapons, she probably doesn't even notice Marco. She probably hasn't keyed on to him being there because she's so pulled into herself.
So
But
the thing you
she's-
would probably notice is that Marco's glasses are on the ground.
I think she would when she first came in, if she saw them there entering, she'd have picked them up and just kind of spoken out loud without looking for you. Not a good place to leave these. They'll get broken. They're hard to replace. And
Shit, sorry. And Marco,
she'll
like,
just set them down. Are you right there?
he was like behind one of the trees, trying to like be away from the entrance so people couldn't see him when they came up. So Marco like kind of comes around a tree, and with his glasses off, you can see his eyes are glowing blue, like bright iridescent, like a gin and tonic under a black light, glowing blue.
You don't want to lose these.
Can I have this back? Thanks. Thank you. And he's
She
clearly
holds them
been
out to
crying.
you.
Thanks. Feels weird without Zoe around.
Does. It's chilly.
Didn't think I would hate it this much, but I do. It's weird. It's just weird not having. I mean, you know, pain in the ass, of course, but
You can always snipe at me.
you snipe back, and not with words. So I don't think so, Dahlia. Thanks. It's weird. I never hated Zoe. I know it probably seemed like that sometimes, but I didn't. I was actually kind of jealous of her in a way. I don't know. Zoe was just able to. What were you?
That's exactly what that's exactly what Dahlia was going to say. She's you were jealous.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I know everything there is to know about this ship, but Zoe knows what it's like to be a ship. I could never top that. Zoe was always going to be just that little bit better than me, but still, I guess Zoe was my friend. I guess Zoe was, yeah. Zoe was my friend. Or at least a member of our crew, and now it's just quiet without Zoe around. I don't like it. Can't imagine how Fahar's taking it.
Probably not well.
How are you holding up?
It has been a long couple of hours. Feels more like days than it does hours since we came out of stasis. A lot has happened, a lot is going on, and I honestly have not had time to sit down and process it yet. And you'll notice that she does have, in addition to an arm full of weapons, or actually probably a duffel bag full of weapons, she does have her shawl that's embroidered with the dancer around her shoulders, kind of pulled tight, knotted up around her shoulders.
Well, I got nothing but time. You want to sit and process?
I suppose. And she'll sit down cross-legged, open up the bundle, and set out a blanket with the oil and the brushes and everything, and then set up a second blanket with a second set of cleaning tools, and then put in front of you, in front of Marco, and then set a weapon down in front of you and say, "Field strip, clean, put it back together."
Yeah, I remember how to do it. Thanks for the lessons.
And then she will just silently sit next to you and start doing that. And after a while, she may, again, once she hits that kind of Zen state, you'll hear her kind of start talking to herself because she's kind of zoned you out. And be careful about what? Why?
Oh,
Are you a ghost too?
that
Dahlia?
She would talk to me.
Dahlia?
What?
Hey.
Yeah, what? Are you having a problem? No, that doesn't go there. No, look, it goes like this.
No, and I like grab the gun. Like, no. You just asked me if I was a ghost, I think? What's going on with you? Didn't you say that out loud?
I did not ask you if you were a ghost. You're not a ghost. And
I
she
know I'm
pokes
not.
you kind of hard in the chest.
Yeah, okay, I know. But you're talking to yourself. What's going on?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. It's. I didn't realize you could dream in stasis.
You can?
I didn't think you could, but I don't know. Maybe we can. It seemed like a dream.
Hey, speaking of stasis, I really appreciated what you did, you know, giving me kind of a pep talk before that portal jump, and that was... Anyway, I mean, thank you. That was very nice of you, but when I gave you your shawl back, you kind of... you jumped a little, and I hope I didn't, like, you know, violate your personal space or something. I didn't mean to freak you out. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was about.
I had a bad dream in stasis, is all.
Okay. Dream in stasis.
And then with the doctor whoever he was, stress signal on top of that, and then just little jump here. So it's been a long couple hours.
Ghost passengers and evil monsters from the past and escape pods. I mean, dreaming in stasis is not the strangest thing I've heard today, so that's... I guess it can happen. Stranger things are out there in the void of space.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I mean, I've heard lots of stories. My dad and my grandfather talked about ships being haunted all the time, and I mean, that's the reason why Fahar and I splashed out on this ship. We heard it was haunted. We thought, yeah, that's no big deal. Turns out it was an AI. But I don't think I ever really... They're just stories. It's you know, we trade tales all the time, pilots. Very superstitious bunch. I've heard plenty of ghost stories, but I've never encountered anything like that.
I didn't believe in them either.
Past tense.
I've never been one to accept the evidence of my own eyes, because our eyes and our brains lie to us all the time.
That's true.
sometimes it's hard to dismiss things that you see.
So you
Sometimes
saw
it's hard.
a ghost.
No, I'm not saying a ghost. I'm saying I saw something that I'm having a harder time than I normally.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Not really knowing how to respond to ghost talk, Marco's like, if that's what you, I mean, if that's what you think you saw or whatever, the less said about it, the better now. Let's just get these clean. I think that'll be good for both of us.
You notice one of the cats. They like this. I mean, the putting objects on the table and like kind of like the clacking around. Something that just kind of like they like to watch. They like to see what's on their head. Just kind of like bobs back and forth a little bit.
Does any of the cats get closer to
Mm,
Dahlia?
This is probably as close as they'll get. I like they know that like previously like they'll be shooed away if they get too nosy. But you do when you do this kind of maintenance on the calming state, you feel a pull like that you're outside of your body a little bit when you do this. It's not super jarring, it's more comfortable than you probably think. You probably don't realize it at first, but I was wondering, are you doing a seance with this? Or would you like the option for that?
Yeah, I think she'd like the option for that. I think
Mm.
she does. She doesn't know quite how to have a say. She's trying to communicate with Nadja
Mm-hmm.
in her own way.
And doing this, you kind of vaguely you have a little bit of that sense that you had before while you're dreaming in the stasis. And you'll tap into the mystic side of things. So you're trying to contact the icons or whatever forces allow you to tap into the universe.
She's reaching for the dancer, who is her icon, the icon that she worships, and is the icon that is responsible for the right of the life bond or marriage. And the scarf that she wears from the dancer was her wedding gift from her wife at their wedding.
Ooh.
And so she's using that as a connection, and that connection with the dancer to reach out to Nadja.
Okay. All right, for that, to harness that part, to tap into that, make what's empathy roll? Empathy. It's empathy and mysticism. But I'll give you a bonus because that is an object of focus and importance. So I'll give you a bonus on that one of the dice.
I don't have anything in mystic power, so it's just empathy.
You will have one at least, because no.
One? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put one there. All right. Empathy is not her thing.
It's
yeah, I didn't think so. I had a feeling.
Actually, I've got a crit. I've got a nat 20. What can I do with that?
I'll give you 2 more on that one.
Okay. So I'm rolling 3 plus the one you gave me. That's 4 plus 2 more. You said.
Yes.
Okay.
So
right.
what's your empathy to?
My empathy is 2.
Okay.
And you just gave me 1 in Mystic
Okay, yeah.
Powers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Is this
do I get another one on top of that?
Yes, you get that
Or
extra
just-
1 on top of for your
Okay.
the object of focus.
Is this
Okay,
something I can
and then-
tell she's doing?
You maybe just it's that same kind of distant feeling you've had. It's nothing flashy or overt. It's just like she's going
zoning
into
out.
that place again.
Yeah, her hands maybe a little bit slower. But you've seen her get like this when she is putting weapons together. She kind of hits that Zen state.
Mhm.
Are you sure we can't call this Shadowrun? I
There
have no
is-
6s. I have
You
no
can push
6s.
further if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. She's going to actively pray to the dancer to re-roll.
Mhm. Okay.
All right, I'm going to take that DP or give you that
Okay.
DP here.
Yep.
Oh, that one hit the floor.
Doesn't count.
No. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it was a black. Okay. 2 6s.
There we go.
Ah. Cool. Excellent. What does your mind focus on? What does it want to know?
Be careful of what, whom, what. What is she? What is the specifics? Why is Nadia choosing now to warn me? What is it that she's reaching across to warn me about?
And you hear voice. She reached out in that way. It's her voice. And you just kind of hear it. Very. It's like you put your ear up to an object, you can hear the vibrations of the sound around it, and it's like that. The darkness, death. But you need to be there. I'm sorry. You will face great danger. But you may need to keep it at bay. I'm so sorry. But I can leave you with this. Don't trust the preacher. You get that last bit, and you snap out of it. And while you're in this trance, one of the cats is next to you. Just like napping.
And what Marco would have seen was Dahlia's hands stop. She puts it down. She's got one hand, she's stroking the cat, and then the tears start. And they're just silent. It's just tears down her cheeks. No crying, no change in her breathing. She's still in that Zen state, which she's obviously crying. And you'll hear her say, "Don't be so. I'm sorry, Nadja. Don't go, please.
And
I don't.
before
I want to be
before
with
you, as you finish that sentence, you just feel this deafening screeching and screaming in your mind.
We both. Oh, in her mind. Oh.
Yes. And you feel a just deep, like, drop in your stomach. The cat just shudders awake and just, like, runs off.
At the scream in her mind, Naju's instantly awake, weapon drawn, standing up, looking for a target.
Mm-hmm.
And she Nadja?
Whoa, hey, whoa, hey, it's Marco. It's just Marco. Put it down. Dahlia? Are you still crying, by the way?
Yeah, they're just she's not sobbing or the breathing isn't changing like that. It's just tears out of her eyes.
Marco's gonna step close cautiously and like put a hand to the barrel of the gun. Like, hey, it's Marco. Only Marco here. No one else here. Just me. Come on, Dahlia. And like try to start pushing the rifle away.
She starts to let it drop. And she just closes her eyes, takes a deep shuddering breath.
I'm gonna go out on a huge limb here and try to give her a hug.
She will step back away from you. The eyes open up and she's defensive, hands up.
Okay, sorry. Just, you looked upset. I don't know what's going on. I'm happy to talk about it if you want, but just trying to help. It's your friend Marco. And I'll like slowly put my hands down to get out of this like defensive pose, try to be more natural.
It's out of pure habit, she doesn't let the gun drop. She just kind of blindly sets it down. And then she just takes the shawl that she has wrapped around her shoulders, and just brings it up to her face and wipes her eyes, her cheeks.
It's okay.
It's twice I couldn't save her.
Couldn't save who?
My wife.
Oh.
We have great danger coming towards us.
In that moment, we'll shift back to Niles. You hear that same scream. So does Iliab. You hear that brain-curling scream. And you are the one that can see this on the sensors, but something's coming closer. Definitely towards you at increasing speed. Directly toward the ship. No doubt that's coming for you.
I'm gonna look for any sort of communication I can find if it's ship wide.
Yep, you know how ships are, so it shouldn't.
Yeah. Guys, we have a problem. Incoming unknown vessel, high speed. Whoever's like a pilot or knows how to shoot, somebody should get up to the bridge.
Oh shit. I'm gonna just put my hands out to Dahlia and say, I don't know what's going on. And we can talk about it later, but just know I probably
Marco?
understand better than you can imagine. Let's go.
Marco?
Yes.
Don't trust the preacher. And she will gather up the weapons. The mask has dropped back over her face with that hard, flat look and over her eyes. And she, looking at her, the only way that you would have known that she had been crying or upset was like the dried tears on her cheeks as she's gathered up these weapons and is probably trying to outsprint you for the bridge.
Hell yeah. Marco's like, this is the Dahlia I know. Let's do this shit. Like, let's run. So I'll stay right on your heels.
All right, everybody.
While
gets...
I'm waiting for them, I'm just gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, said everyone hears that message. By the way, so well, go ahead.
I'm just gonna, whatever looks like the sensor operations part of the bridge. I'm just going to, sit down in whatever chair or stand, whatever. If I'm sitting down, he probably hits his back against the chair, just like, and it just sits attentive.
Mm-hmm. And as everyone gets to the bridge, if they wish to head there.
Yeah. As soon as he started putting out the announcement, I was already headed there.
Okay. As everyone gets there, you see what the scanners show you. It can't tell if it's one object or several objects, but it's large. Something the size of maybe a capital ship, but sometimes the size of a ship of your size. But it is gaining speed and soon will be within visual range.
Marco sprints onto the bridge with Dahlia. I'm gonna guess Dahlia probably beats me there. You're faster than me. But
nope,
immediately...
she's 2 paces behind you because she had to put the weapons up.
Okay. Well, get onto the bridge, immediately walk in, notice that this new guy is already sitting down at the sensor array. And apparently he's allowed to work the comms, but I'm not going to have any time to argue about that. Swing into the pilot seat, pull up all of my counsels and everything. Like, Niles, you know how to work sensors?
A bit, yeah. I know enough.
Great, welcome to the crew. Captain, deputize him or whatever you have to do. He's part of the crew now. What's the situation, Niles?
We'll discuss the details later, but for now, give us the best of what you got, because if this is what I think it is, we're going to need it. Marco, get us out of here as quick as you can, if not sooner.
Already on it, Captain.
It looks like we have, I can't tell if it's a single thing, multiple things. The readings are all over the place, but it'll be in visual range soon.
You can't tell if it's a single thing or multiple things. Okay, so you're not that good at sensors. Got it.
All right,
It keeps changing.
You can make a sensors roll since we're gonna get into this thing.
Mm-hmm. So this is
Start
data
off
gen.
with data gen and the main skill for that.
As you're doing that, you hear from the gunner station, would have been really nice if we had some mines or torpedoes with us.
All right.
You noted, Dahlia.
It's on the shopping list, Dahlia.
Fahar leaps.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, Fahar leaps his chair into his spot, and it's like, we'd have to get rid of the arboretum.
The cats are gonna be mad. Cats are gonna be so mad.
That is 2 successes for data gen.
So, upon closer inspection, if you push the sensors as far as they'll go at long range, it's giving off very strange readings. What's strange about the sensors that you're getting is the life signs aren't necessarily giving off where you expect heat from an engine. You're getting life sign readings and then nothing, as if it's flickering in and out. It is one object, but many at the same time. And you can kind of put two together. this looks like the thing that killed the Mamara. It's
And-
smaller,
Yeah.
but it's that same flicker of readings going off the chart, different object sizes. It's that same chaos.
You, after he gets a better idea of what this thing is, you see him just sort of freeze for a second, and after like a couple seconds, he's like, "It's a Bah-jin. It's a Bah-jin." And he's like, after he says that, he's just kind of almost like white knuckling the sensor rays, and he is just stone still.
It is coming faster than you thought it was at first. It is
Marco, get us
for
out of
its
here. as
size.
fast as
It
you
is
can.
going faster than a fighter. Straight for you.
Gunning it.
And I go and I quickly run over. I see what's happening with Niles, and I head right over to him and spin him around in his chair and look him straight in the eyes. Listen, young man, I realize you think you're about to repeat history, but I don't intend for that to happen. But for that not to happen, I need you focused in on this now. Get all those marbles back in the right place inside that skull of yours, and let's work on getting out of here. And I take his head and kind of shake a little bit to shake him out of his shock.
As you're shaking him, you see him come to as soon as you start shaking him, and he slaps your hands away, and he just
That's better.
turns back to his station, and then just kind of sits ready.
Much better.
You back with us, Niles?
For the moment, yeah.
All right, strap
So
in.
we
Hold
get
on.
a
I'm getting us the
target
hell out
lock
of
on
here.
this thing. Guns are hot.
All right.
Engines revved.
We'll use them if we have to, even if it's just to slow them down enough that we can get a good hole shot and get away from this thing.
All right, so we will start the attack on this thing. So, from this long distance and the precision that Niles gave the sensors, you can see on the screens what this thing is. It's that same dark shape, that chaotic kind of star shape, like a sea urchin almost, but obscured in smoke and bits of ignited just matter around it. And I am going to need a test from you all. I am going to need a empathy
Oh, good.
Oh, cool.
or
Cool.
or a wits roll.
Okay.
Better at empathy.
If you have any mystic powers, you can add that number to it as well.
Okay. Excellent.
So that'll be
This
wits
feels
for me.
important enough that I'm gonna use a crit. I'm gonna dump one of those. Get an extra 2.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use my second crit as well.
Okay.
Sounds of rattling dice.
Oh god. Okay.
Alrighty.
Oops.
Not so good.
All right. Who succeeded and who didn't?
I got
got 3
1
6s.
6.
I had 1 6.
1 6.
I
I
have
had
0.
3.
Who?
Oh.
All right, Dolly. You just feel as much as you are a veteran of battle with guns. This is something different. You feel it deep. Maybe it was how recently you were reaching out in that seance, but maybe you were a little more vulnerable to it. But you feel this overwhelming just panic and fear from this thing. I mean, you can control it, but you do your best, but it is going to make doing your job a little hard. So it's going to give you a -1 to any check you have to do with this thing around.
Is that now? Do I subtract a dice?
Oh, yeah, it's
from
one
anything I
dice.
do?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Minus 1
yeah.
dice.
So we'll just
all
basically
rolls.
take a -1,
Okay.
make it a little harder. And all right, so we'll get this on the road. It is as the Bah-jin is making just scorching its way. Why don't you make the initiative roll for it, Captain?
Okay, so for that I need to
Okay,
roll.
make an initiative roll. Let's. I'm just
What-
rolling a d6 for it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what am I rolling?
Now
Just
I
one?
roll the 6.
Oh, sorry. It is the thing. So we'll. Okay. So what'd you roll? 6.
I rolled a 6 because now
Alright,
I rolled
so-
a 6.
All right,
Grand.
y'all will be able to go for it. Captain,
Mhm.
what is your order?
Okay, order. My order's
Mhm.
off to. I don't. This thing puts enough fear into me that I don't want to fight this thing head on if we don't have to. So I want to just get out, get away from it as quick as we can, if not quicker.
Copy that, Captain.
So evade is going to be your
Yes, that's going to be our primary goal here.
All right. Engineer, it is your turn.
Hate to sound like a broken record, but under the circumstances, it's going to be three engines, 1 sensor, 1 weapons.
Okay. That's its point. It's going. And we are going to pilot phase. It is coming. It's still. You're going to
Yep.
try and gain some speed on it.
Yep. And
All
I'm
right.
following an order here, so I got 10d6 on this bad boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Make it happen.
And I only got 1 6, but that'll do.
That'll do. You manage, as fast as this thing is coming, you manage to not be engulfed by it. It is coming faster. But you've managed to make sure it doesn't just, as fast as it's going, crash into your ship.
What the hell is this thing?
Something you can tell your grandkids about once we get out of here, but we got to get out of here first for that to happen.
All right. Sensors, it is your go. Lock on
Yeah.
this thing. There is the option of data meming this thing, but not too sure what it is. If it is a ship, what?
Yeah, I don't really know how to handle this thing, even though I've seen it before. I just want to try, if this is an option, to try and scan it just to see if there's any sort of particular weak point or anything that will make Dahlia's job easier to shoot at it if she has to.
Okay, yes. So you're scanning it. So
Yep.
you have that extra, so whatever dice the engineer has given, you get to add that on top of it.
Which I believe you just gave us 1. Okay, cool.
Yes. So it's that.
And that
it's
is... Sorry, go ahead.
it's the data gen
Data gen.
skill
Okay,
plus the base ability, yeah.
got it. It's 8d6. That's at least 1 success, so... you got
Okay.
1 6.
You got
There you
1
go.
6, so you give Dal, and you get some information off of that for that success. It
And that
is. Mhm. It gives you 1
Sorry, go
extra
ahead.
dice to your whatever you want to do, but this thing. It does have a form, but it is. You haven't seen anything to which the degree of which it is just leaking energy, radiation, everything is just like coming off. Like it is, you get the sense that it is burning itself out while it still functions. And if this is the same thing, it is much smaller than it was before.
I'm getting a lot of energy readings off of it everywhere. It seems like it's just leaking the stuff. If this is the same thing that killed the Mamara, it's much smaller. And I don't know, maybe damaging it will just make it leak energy faster.
Sounds better than sitting around waiting for it to die of old age.
Yeah.
Elliot, you rolled that that initial culture on that thing, right? When we brought it up.
Yeah.
Part of that is they, whatever the Bah-jin are not of this universe, reality, or however you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
They have brief lives. They do what they can, and then they go back to where they came from. Which is why they don't just rampage endlessly.
Yeah. Kind of like those old legendary mayflies back in the old world. They live for a day and then they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if we can outrun and out-survive this thing, make it eat itself alive, maybe even, let's do it. And if we can, golly, if you can cause it to leak a little bit, I would not be upset.
All right. That's where you get off that, and now it is the attack phase, and you go first.
Okay, so I have a target lock on this thing. Is that correct?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I get 9 dice to fire. I'm using the ion cannon.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 9 dice to start with. I subtract 1 because I have a -1 to all rolls, but I get one.
Yep.
From Niles.
Yes.
And what is the one that Fahar gave to Gun? Is that another die as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that gives you an extra. So you have a net 1 bonus to whatever you're going to roll with that.
Okay, that's where I was doing the math on that one. Okay,
Yes.
here we go. Okay, that is 1 success off of 8 dice. We'll roll the other one. Nope. So 1 success.
Okay. And what is the damage that does?
It does a 1 damage.
Okay.
But to both hull and EP.
And systems.
If that
Yep.
matters.
Yes. And you can see the shot. The shot rings true, hits the mast that Niles painted on that thing, and it hits it, but it's minimal at best. It's still coming. And in that moment where the shot hits it a few moments later, it's still approaching, but now you're going to be the one to get this. You just see a spike in readings off this, and this thing just gives out a just blinding pulse from it as it engulfs this wave of just off the charts radiation energy just hits the ship. And I am going to, it is going to make its attack on you. And thanks to Chaos Crew, I am going to use one of the crits on this thing. So that gives me a lot of dice. It's very mad. It's weird
Roll
because
like
it's
me.
listed.
Roll like me.
Yes.
Eliab energy.
Oh, 2. Ooh,
Not going down like this.
it rolled 3 6s.
Of course it did.
It's going to turn one of those 6s into damage. So that is a 7. To you. And it is going to spend a crit because it rolled high enough. Alright, where is the crit table on this thing? It's...
What's our armor
Can
rating?
Huh?
What's our armor rating? 5?
It should be 5.
Yeah. It's
Alright, oh, there it is. 2d6. Hopefully it's nothing. Alright. Ooh. That is not great. 7. How many so it whatever this pulse, you just feel the ship rock. You feel like briefly like a wave of heat just hit each of you, which shouldn't happen because the ship is supposed to block out all that. And you hear a reading. So why don't you how many? Okay, let me see. We have your ship. How many modules does the possibility have?
3, 4,
We
5,
have
6, 7, 8, 9.
modules.
All right, so D10. Let's see.
And the D10 could spill over into the features, I guess. If,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Give her
D12. Okay.
ideas.
Oh yeah,
12.
D12. Yeah.
Oof. You hear that, then you just hear this sickening just vibrations from the ship and some sounds coming from behind you, and you get the warning that the cargo hold has been destroyed. There's been ruptures on that particular piece, but the blast doors just mercifully just shut and prevented it from decompressing the entire ship.
How much damage did we just take?
You took 2 points, but it rolled a crit.
Right. But two whole points of
2 hull points of damage.
All right.
Two
I got it.
hull
I'm
points.
marking.
Yeah, 2 hull points.
marking it.
Yep. I already marked them both.
All right.
It's like, the cargo hold of the ship is gone, but the blast doors went off, so we're okay. We're okay.
All we
And he's
lost
just,
was some
you know,
What
knickknacks.
did we have? What did we have? In
He's
the
just
cargo
starting to
hold?
have flashbacks, and
Keep it together,
The-
man.
Lost the grav sled and the knickknacks and any spare cargo we might have had on board.
Oh no!
Yeah, that
I'll
flea
try it
market
for that.
stuff that doctor brought her gone to space.
I'll reroute here.
You're gonna have to. No, I will just tell you out of game, just out of character. The cats are fine. The cats are fine. They know what to do.
Cats are always fine.
Yep.
They're like in the air ducts, you know.
They
There's a
know
reason
this
why
shit
the
Center.
better
stasis
than
pods
we
They're
do.
smell
in the
like pee.
center of the ship where it won't be.
There's a reason why the stasis pods smell like piss.
Oh no! Oh, okay. So yeah, if you have, but you can tell now that this whatever it did cost this thing a lot, but it's still coming, and we are back at the start of the round. Captain,
Okay. Steady as she goes. Get us out of here.
Happy to.
I don't know how many more hits like that we can take.
Not a hell of a lot, sir.
all right. So you are just still with the
Still
invasive
evasive.
manures outrun this thing?
Yep.
All right. Sounds excellent. Next, all right, it's engineer.
Cap, do you want me to overload the reactor? I mean, I can get us a little more juice for everything, but it will take structural damage equal to the juice I take. So basically, I can roll and give us more power, but it takes hull points off
Oh.
for the extra.
I don't
dice
think
that
we can. It sounds tempting, but I don't think we can afford to do that right now.
All right, just wanted to let you know it's an option.
Yep.
I'll
An
keep it
engineer
in
now.
mind in case we need it.
An engineer, now that there is damage to the ship, you have more options to it if you want to take those.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll relate those. See,
I,
this is why you have the engineer. It's things go bad.
I'm going to dodge the cargo hold. I'm going to let it be vacuum for now, assuming everything's already lost. And I will go 3 pilot, 1 sensor, one gun again, just so that we can keep eyes on it and make Dahlia's job a little easier.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
Good.
Captain, make that the command roll as well.
Okay, command. I've got
So
that's
this will be
empathy
command.
plus my command, right? So 1, 2, 3
So it'll give bonuses.
plus 2. Two.
2.
That'll do.
All right.
Good.
So anything in accordance to this order. 2. All right. And Fahad, so anything else? You're all set.
Yep, I'm good.
Sensors still coming.
Yeah. Let me think here. I would almost try a maim attack, but that almost might. My player impulses that might give it more energy, but Niles doesn't know that.
Niles doesn't know.
Yeah. Let's just. If I do target lock again, is there an increased difficulty to it or no?
If you target lock it again, it just gives Dahlia a bonus of success
Gotcha.
to hit this thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the old tried and true, and I'll try and attempt another target lock here.
Okay.
So that's another 8. So, same thing as before again. Only we got 1 success.
Okay. Yep. Yes, you get the reading that you successfully kind of like secure the center of it, and you realize that it is the chase that you're putting on is draining it.
Okay.
If running was a successful move, it is working, but it's still coming. Pilot.
It looks like we can both hit it and keep running.
Okay.
It's entirely lucky that this ship is almost military in its armament.
Yeah, we do have pretty high armor.
Yeah.
All right. Rolling that pilot roll. 10d6. Got 2 6s.
2 6s. All right. You push the ship as far as single. Like you and Fahar probably coordinate some sort of and some just quick flush to the reactor, and you just get speed on it. It looked like it was gaining, but that last burst and maneuvers, you have pushed it further back. It's gonna have to make some gains to be able to like be on you. And Niles, you know that you definitely do not want that. That thing was tearing the ship apart.
Mm-hmm.
And Dolly, it is your turn.
Okay. Gonna fire that ion cannon. I had the same
Got
amount
that.
of dice as I did last time, correct?
Hmm.
Right.
Okay. That is one success.
One success. Same thing. Pings it. A little bit of energy dissipation on it, but it's having some effect. It's just at the moment, it's not reacting. It's not taking off as much as, let's say, the pirate ship was. But since it can't reach you, you see another flare of the sensors, but this time it's localized, and you just see what would appear to be energy like a bolt of lightning. Snake just burst out from the thing. And we'll see. It hits the ship, but we'll see if it does any damage at all, if it's just going to bounce off.
Dahlia's just muttering, keep the darkness at bay. Keep the darkness at bay. Keep the darkness at bay.
You take 8 points. Wait, no, 7 points, sorry.
So 2 more.
Yes.
Cat, we can't take another hit like that.
As you have made some great gains on this thing, because you wanted that and not the bolt. It doesn't do any, it doesn't rupture. There wasn't the same decompression that came from the cargo hold. And yeah, you just it rakes across the hull, and you get readings that in a line, just the readings just it has tore through multiple levels of plating on your ship.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a lot to fix. We like I said, we can't take another.
I'm giving it everything I got, Pahar.
Okay,
I know.
Captain.
All right, let's keep trying to get away from this thing. If we're starting to pull away, maybe we can keep that speed going. 2.
Excellent.
Man roll.
2, whatever order. Excellent. You're giving some excellent rolls of command. So, it is sensors. And looking at on my map, you get a transmission.
Incoming transmission. Should I patch it through?
Not a great
Can
time.
you tell who it's from?
Can I tell who it's from?
It is. You get the signature of it. It is the Aracul Splendor. It's a ship, not unlike it's an outdated patrol boat. It's no one in the military used it. It's 2 or 3 generations out of date.
Go ahead and patch it through.
Okay, and just patch it on through.
I got the question about do you keep the possibilities signature? Because I know you have the stealth cable. Do you keep the signature blocked, or do you just let the?
That would have been up to the captain.
Probably when we were trying to get out, we probably had it on stealth. We probably had the stealth mode on, but I don't know if we would have thought to turn it off or not, to be totally honest. When we were trying to get past that gate and everything.
All right, you just hear over the comms, unidentified ship. We're here to reach a distress beacon. Is this you? This is the Arcall Splendor of the
This is Ilya
Ganji Sawai.
This is Ilya Jessibar, the possibility. We don't have it on yet, but for all practical purposes, yes, we are that distress signal. We got a Bah-jin on our tail.
Oh,
if you have any
repeat.
success in dealing with one of those things, we wouldn't mind a little help.
And you hear like silent. A what? Repeat that.
I don't stutter. I said Bah-jin.
And you hear like, I the traveler. What is? All right. Get it ready. Unidentified chip. Keep your heading. We'll try and give you some cover.
Appreciated.
And is
Alright.
putting that through my entire action for the sensor phase?
No, you just had that. So you still
Since
have.
this thing,
Wait, did Fahar go though? We need the energy points distributed.
oh, that's
Oh
true.
yeah, energy.
True.
Sorry. Yep. Okay, yep.
311.
311 again.
Actually, I'm considering maybe. Can we still do that thing with the reactor like you were telling me about?
It's we don't have enough. It'll blow us, Captain. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Don't have enough-
I just thought I'd ask. Okay, steady as it were then.
Okay.
love that ship.
Let's see if we can.
Alright.
Let's see if we can maybe drain some more energy from this thing. I am actually going to start preparing a. Let's see. I'm looking at this stuff here. Let's try Let's prepare a data meme.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And you fire it this round, and it takes effect next round. So
Yeah.
Mhm. But you'll
Okay,
know if
so-
it's effective. Yep.
Yeah. And I believe, if I'm reading this right, it starts with a data general.
Mm-hmm. It's a.
Okay,
Yep. It's
cool.
a data general.
Okay, so that's 8d6.
Hell yeah.
Out of 8d6, we have one success, so we're good.
Excellent.
Only takes one.
All right, you're familiar with how this works, right? It's basically like you're sending a hack into whatever it is. Something is strange about the way this ship utilizes it. It's not the information that you have. It's not unexpected, but it's welcome at this moment because whatever you did, whatever's on this ship, just it clearly has an effect on this. This thing kind of like if you like touch like something and it like the flowers, like certain plants, if you touch them, they kind of contract. It did that the second you sent it. So, in addition to whatever this isn't a ship. This is something else. So whatever it is going to take place now. Its momentum is slowed a great deal, so it's going to give Marco some bonuses, and it's going to give Dahlia some bonuses because it's not as fast or as evasive as it was in this moment.
Nicely done.
It's like you sent that scream that you've heard in your head back at it, the way it's reacting.
Nice.
I knew there was something I liked about you.
All right. Next phase. It is pilot phase.
What's my bonus? Extra die?
Yes. Whatever. You succeed by 1, so yep, 1 extra dice.
Okay, so that's 11d6 for you, boy. All right.
Get us some bucks there.
4 6s.
Poof! You take that opportunity just to however close this thing got, the combination between the overclock engines, Niles is data main transmission, and your piloting just put a lot of space between you and it, closer to the patrol ship that is coming faster and faster in your direction. Looks like it's sensors that's targeting whatever it is. It's in a way to intercept whatever it is. So it's gonna, in its role, it is going to 6 extra 2 successes. So it's doing the kind of like a similar thing that you're doing. It's not as fast, but it's gaining speed in the opposite direction. So it is zipping closer into long range of this thing. And okay. Sensors. You're out of medium range of this thing.
Yeah. So what does that mean for me per se?
Oh, sorry, you did that. Sorry, you did the.
We
Sorry, you
already
did
did that. I
the.
think we're on
Never
the
mind,
medallion now.
Yeah, I might have mixed things up. Sorry. All right.
No, you're
so
fine.
the patrol ship, the aircraft Splendor, has not hidden its intentions of targeting us. So you'll see how well it does. It made 1 success. So you read its sensor, its targeting computers paint the same object that you're. And now it's Dolly's turn.
Okay, so I do not have a target lock on it.
Mm-hmm. Just means it's -1.
Okay, so I'm at a negative, and I have a -2 on top of that because I don't have a target lock, according to the book. So
yes,
I'm at a -3, but I get the one from Fahar. Okay, so I'm doing math. I have a -1 to dice to all rolls.
Don't you
I
get a
have a
+1 for
-1.
following Eliab's order? Or is that?
that's just. I think that's just you. Yeah, like if it
Oh,
was
is that only
attack.
me? Okay.
Yeah, if it was attack, it would be.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm getting is an overall -3 to my roll from my usual.
Yeah,
roll.
after all those, after
Okay.
all the dice.
Yeah, there's a lot of
We have crits.
modifiers are hard. Okay, so -3 off of my usual roll. Got it. Okay.
A lot of bonus up and downs.
That's a success.
Yeah.
That blow is doing more damage than initially thought. It's whatever resistances they had before, it's quickly burning through. So you just see it, just a big chunk of just like dissolve to nothing. And it is at that same time, the patrol ship is going to take its shot at it with its ion cannons as well, because it has those. Let's see, extra 2 successes. So similar thing happened. It just pings it a couple times right in dead center. Just starts. There's not much of it left, but whatever is left, it has a new target, and it's gonna hit this patrol boat.
Oh shit.
Okay, oof, it only had 1 success, but you just see like when she thought that bolt just whizzed past the ship and just slam it on its hull, barely missing the where the cockpit is, the command center. It's just like you see the ship just shudder, and it looked like it if it had been any closer, it would have just obliterated that ship. It's coming closer. But as it quickly turns around, with that meme attack and the speed, it's a tense few seconds of near misses from this thing, as it just drifts off into nothing. And you survive what remains of it.
You see Niles just sort of fall to his knees out of the chair, and you see the most somber of smiles on his face as he's just tightly gripping his symbol of the judge.
And you hear a transmission over the comms. Unidentified ship. Send us your identification. This is the Arcol Splendor. We are from the Ganji Sawai fleet. We represent ship. We came here for the distress beacon, but if you are pirates, we will blow you out of the sky as soon as now.
Alright, go ahead and turn the transponder on.
You got it, Cap.
We are not pirates. The original source of the distress signal is a current passenger on our vessel.
Yes.
But this,
yes, you're
Bah-jin was following us.
Yes, whatever the hell that was. Yes, possibly. We got your. They check out. How much damage have you sustained?
I'd say considerable would be an understatement.
75% hull damage.
Well, you certainly have the Icon's favor. Whatever the hell that was, it's gone. This is Captain Gira. We can take you back to the Ganji Sawai, and we can maybe have you looked at.
Yeah, we probably need to dock in somewhere and make what repairs we need.
I will let you all make a culture roll on this. With a +2. This isn't gonna be hard.
Oh man,
that means I actually have some dice.
I have 1 success.
I have 1 success as well.
Mm-hmm.
1 success.
All right.
Nada.
All right, cool.
Everybody but Fahar.
You hear the name Ganji Sawai, and it jogs something in your memory. It's fairly recent but the Ganji Sawai is a bizarre ship. It's one of the trading ships that has been going since Coriolis has been built. It's a former colony ship, one of the real big haulers that's been converted to some sort of merchant ship that makes a passage between several pilgrimage routes. It's a safe passage for ships where they can sell their wares, refuel, a little respite from the darkness of space. From what it appears, if it is the Ganji Sawai, it's a little bit of respite on the way back, Coriolis. And that's where we'll end it.
How far are we from Coriolis at this point?
You're about halfway.
Okay.
And the shape that you're in, you got. All right. Y'all lived through that. Didn't lose. I thought you were gonna lose more modules off the ship.
Yeah.
You saved your friend.
I was worried.
And we'll see what happens next time for these lucky crew, maybe lucky unlucky crew, the possibility next time. But
Trading ship. Oh, boy.
There we go. We'll check in with everybody, see where thoughts and what the characters just thought about what just happened and where we can find them. So we'll just start in the same order, clockwise, starting with a cleric.
Wow. A lot happened. Yeah, a lot happened. Um, Colin, love
Yeah.
that RP.
Yeah,
Love,
I
love
love
the
I love
RP.
that. I
Thank
love
you.
the therapy so much. It made me
I live for these. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
that was that was awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. All of, I mean, y'all, if you get a chance to ever play with any of these people, do it. Trust me, you want to play with these people because they're the best, and you want Shauna as your GM if you can't have her as a player with you because y'all, damn,
Y'all gave it
um,
so much life. Damn, I'm floored. It
you
was
built
great.
you built the world, we inhabit it, and
Ooh.
without the world, these stories wouldn't happen. So, but this is great. I initially started out with Dahlia and Marco. She had has a strong distrust in him, and it's their relationship has developed far more than I actually ever thought it would. But hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Clark of Court, and I play games on the internet with my friends. You can find me here Tuesdays playing Coriolis, Last Horizon, praying to the dancer, and yeah, that's really all I have going on right now. That's online. Oh no, tomorrow. Tomorrow's no, today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Tomorrow.
They
Yes,
just
Tuesday.
they're
What are
I am
days?
just kind of
What are
yeah.
coming together.
days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on the Lawful Geeks channel, playing some Shadowrun with my human street shaman. So if you want to come check that out, it's a really great group. We have a lot of fun, and yes, things are getting interesting. Dealing with, we have two Mr. Johnsons that we're working with, so things are definitely getting interesting. Uh,
Ah,
that's it. And
thank you.
thank you again, guys, for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
And our unshakable pilot. How are you doing, Colin? How's Mark?
I was a steely-eyed missile man tonight with these clutch pilot rolls. I was feeling good about that. Yeah. So, yeah, and the Dahlia Marco. I was like from the very beginning. I'm like, well, here's one person that's never going to be my friend on this crew. From as soon as we started planning this, and it's been interesting to watch it play out. And I didn't get a full chance to say it, but Marco understands better than you will ever know, and we'll see if that ever comes up. So yeah, incredible all around, guys. I'm Colin at Colonomicon on Twitter, Discord, all that crap. You can see me here being a moody pilot on Tuesdays, but then also, geez, looks at calendar. Not this week, but next week. Next Friday, me and a few great people, a lot of them from Encounter Roleplay, are going to be on Master the Game, doing our Wild Mount campaign, where I play Libertarian Santa Claus. That whole thing, that's coming back. I'm on there with TP Grant from Encounter Roleplay. And then something that's not going to be streamed, I'm just excited about it, is starting tomorrow, I have a session 0 of Monster of the Week with Spencer right up over there. So we're going to be playing a campaign in my weird homebrew setting of New Normal, Illinois, a creepy town surrounded by corn. And I look forward to that very much. But thank you all for those feels. Appreciate those feels. Let's bring a hell of a lot more feels next time.
Absolutely. And our stalwart captain who managed to get their crew through a Bah-jin attack, but maybe doesn't have the entire trust. How are you doing, Kyle?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Eliab is feeling shaken, but grateful that the icons have let us get away and defeat this horrid creature at. Graybeard, you started the fields, and then Cat and Colin, you kept them going, and all that. Is like, I don't care if I do anything the rest of the night or not. Just sitting back and watching all of you go at it, going at it was great. I'm KY Hawkeye, Kentucky Hawkeye. You can find me on my channel on Thursday nights, where I'm currently doing my weekly Skyrim serial, where my character Morkal the Mighty. He's a He's a Templar soldier, little bit of lycanthropy in his system, and he's fighting off vampire lords in Skyrim. And then Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, also on my channel, is Grappler's Keep, where a number of DMs, GMs, and RPG players from across the Twitch universe, including our own Cleric of Cord here, participate in our own WWE 2K20 universe in a ring that we affectionately call the Dice Tray. This coming weekend, in preparation for our next pay-per-view, we're going to have a couple more tournaments going. We're going to set our internet champions, one for the ladies, one for the guys, and they have to defend their belt every stream. So every stream from here on, there'll always be at least 2 belts on the line with every stream. And Cleric of Cord, you will probably be in the tournament for the ladies. So we'll spoil
Give them the
spoilers
chair.
there. So
Give them the chair.
so
The chair.
and then otherwise you can find me here on Tuesdays. And occasionally you'll see me DMing on Friday nights on Rule Zero Gaming. A bunch of us, we take turns GMing. In a couple of weeks, I'll be DMing my story, The Staff of Troth. It's my own D&D 5th edition homebrew world that I've created. So,
Ooh, good man.
So having some fun with that, developing and creating that. So they're helping me test it out.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. And our surprisingly heartbroken engineer. I was really sad.
Sorry.
Oh, well, I mean, basically, one of the icons died. You know, one of the gods to Fahar died because Zoe was the true voice who, you know, he listened to no matter what, just like the icons. And now with the deity dead, he's lost. He's really lost. So it was good. There was action, things he had to do to keep going, to, you know, to just, you know, to keep moving. I have to say I'm totally all about the dark secrets we've got going on. Spence, you brought the flagellant thing. Oh my goodness! And then to counter with Iliab's, you know, dark idol, and
Y'all got some secrets, man.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. You know, we already mentioned the great Arboretum scene, and also I won't go back to it, but yeah, no, I'm totally digging this. Can't wait for, you know, next Tuesday. So we'll see how it goes. But what I have coming up. I
was going to say next time I'll be sure to. I only do 1 hug per episode, but I wasted trying to give it to Dahlia. Next time I'll be sure that you get the 1 hug.
All right.
Everybody's sad. Everybody around Marco's sad.
In an episode where we fought a space demon, the most dangerous thing I did was try to give Dahlia a hug.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So I'm kind of between seasons. I've got some things that are coming up that I can't announce yet, but one thing I do have coming up tomorrow night on Indoor Adventures channel at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, I'm running we call it Monster Noir. It's a game I wrote at 1 a.m. the night before we ran it. It was supposed to be a one-shot, and we've been running it for over a year now. And it's, you know, there's a vampire and an archfey and a half angel and a lich, basically, in the party. And there's the Veil. It's set in the 20s. And this week they're going on a steamship back to Europe. So, you know, that'll be tomorrow night at 8:30. It's all kinds of crazy fun. So if you can't, stop on by. Other than that, right now, I've only got my other Sunday show is my show where I wave a bunch of toy weapons around and play Darkest Dungeon. We're in the end game. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Graybeard Tavern on Twitch. And that's me.
Thank you. And newcomer and I guess survivor. How's it going?
It's going good. For being what was essentially a last minute pickup person for this campaign, I have received such a totally warm welcome from you all. And even though Niles is basically the one person that nobody trusts right now, I am super excited to see where this goes and see where some of his dark secrets go. Yeah, I mean, wait, there we go.
Yeah, there is some stuff. I'll tell you.
But yeah, I'm excited to see where the next couple weeks takes us, to see if Niles can even build up any remote sort of trust with these people after, from what I can tell, they've already been through quite a bit. So we'll see where this young man fits in with this little crew of misfits with dark secrets.
Any place we can find you?
You can just find me at Spence the Old Taco on Twitter, and yeah, I mean, I don't have anything going on other than this, so yeah.
Well, it was a joy. So, well, I am Shauna, Flying Service on Twitter, and thank you, everyone. This has been wonderful. I appreciate that everyone has brought so much to this, and thank you. But yeah, in addition to this, every Tuesday, I am playing. Next, you'll see me on Saturday on Warner DM's channel, where it's playing Black Flag, a Powered by the Apocalypse pirate game. Or I basically just play. I kind of take some of the stuff I do here. I play a witch that has a demon, and I may have eaten somebody. So
Love it.
and we're going to a ball. So hey, that's next time. It's party. I love dances and parties.
Party time.
Hey.
Don't eat people at parties. It's frowned
Oh,
upon.
it's so great. But yeah, that's will catch me. Thank you, everybody. So, yep. So thank you, everybody.
Yes. Gala, you can eat people at the parties.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can totally do that.
Catch us tomorrow for the Gala the Damned Zweihander system. I love the DM game. It's awesome. It's a wonderful soiree. It's great. And thank you for watching us on Twitch and YouTube, and join us on the Discord, where there's all sorts of awesome things we can get into shows like this and discuss what goes on. It is lovely. I love it so much. And also there, we are taking a GM submissions for the summer season, so get those in if you want to play. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, and watch yourselves and make sure the Doctor Who Star does not get you, and the cats know all. Good night, everybody.